higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not day off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk.
The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They groomed them. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. El Rufai brought them in. Bauchi State Governor brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria. Go and show me. Somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Izombe, you come to Ohaji, you come to Ebema, you come to Aguleri, you come to Ebonyi. You take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building railway to Niger Republic. And you want me to be happy with you? Clap for you. Oh, Nigeria is doing well. One Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax that we pay. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger, airport in Niger, refinery in Niger. You take oil, crude oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum, or as PPS as you call it. And you're telling me that that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. We are in one Nigeria. We are not going anywhere. And you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they...
Good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live, and we are going to be talking about the population census, the fraud that shaped Nigeria to this disastrous hand that you are witnessing today. If you have the time, join me, share the broadcast, invite your friends, tell them Mayegun today.
Ani esunraki Mayegun today. Mayegun today. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki Mayegun today. Ani esunraki Lórí Facebook.
If you are watching this broadcast and you check your time, and the time says 1:49 p.m. in the afternoon, if you are in the UK, or the time says 2:59 p.m. if you are watching from Nigeria or some part of Europe, and then check your time. That shows that you are watching it live because it is Sunday sermon. Check it out. Tell them. Now, the broadcast this morning or afternoon or evening, depends on whenever or wherever you're watching from, is just to put the record straight again. You see, I have told you a few times on this platform that that myth that northern Nigeria is more populated than southern Nigeria. A myth, a fraud, that they have done everything since 1963 to fix and make a, give a life to, is a fraud. The northern Nigeria never was and will never be more than southern Nigeria. And the reason why they did that is no other reason than the sharing of the resources, political representation, because they discovered that Nigeria resources will be, the resources from southern Nigeria will become the resources that the northern Nigeria will depend upon in the future. Therefore, they will need enough resources to control their resources. When I talk about enough human resources, they thought about political representation, military representation, and of course, that gave them the leverage, which they always resist a scientific population census in Nigeria. I'll tell you, some of you who know the history of census in Nigeria and how things just suddenly changed to what they are today, that they forced everyone together using the same technique of larger number. This number is also what they relied upon. If you choose military takeover, they will have to be in charge. If you choose democracy, then they have to be in charge. All of these were premeditated, planned since 1963. And I think you deserve to know. So recently, in fact, just last year, Bokwari's government, APC, Egbekegbe, they approved 10 billion naira for the National Population Commission in Nigeria to conduct a national population census so that they can know who is living where and what exactly is the number of Nigerians. Let me tell you something about census. If Nigerian handlers from 1966 till date, if they have been very, very honest and sincere, population is good for planning. Every country wants to know who and who lives in their country, what are their status, age, sex, and all those things they need to know. Documentation for planning purposes, so that a community that has 1 million people living there, but they have less than 1 million house, or what do you call it, that could house them, that a reliable census, a reliable population census can help the government or any interested party trying to help in this regard, right? It will help them to plan and know, whatever they plan, go straight to those who need them. Nigeria is a fraud that the criminals put together just for sharing resources only. Now, let's take a moment back, just a moment back. When did this population counting started in Nigeria? Okay, historically, it started in 1911. That was before the amalgamation of the the northern and southern protectorates of what now became Nigeria. 1914 was the amalgamation. So the British conducted partial census to know their subjects, those who are living in their colony. And according to this, I'm gonna read this out, okay? It says, from the onset, the people of the southern Nigeria, the people who made up what is now today southern Nigeria, Eastern Protectorate, Western region, Eastern region, and all that, majority of them felt like the reason why they were conducting the election, the census back then, was because the British wanted to identify, citizens who are of tax age. It was because of tax. That was what they told us. So many people kind of, pull out. They never register. But guess what? When the result came, the southern Nigeria put together were more than northern Nigeria. I'll give you a figure. I'll get to that part. And when they now broke the southern Nigeria into two, guess who had the highest population? the Igbos. They had the highest population as far back as 1921. Then, okay, the second census. Census were meant to be conducted every 10 years, believing to consider the growth rate, death rates, and all that to, you know what I mean? So in 1931, well, before 1931, about women riots, when they participated in the first census, right? It was like, oh, they were conducting the census to identify those who they will be taxing. That led to a serious riot. It's not a perfect one. 1931, they conducted another one. Southern Nigeria, more than Northern Nigeria put together, all of them. 1941, they conducted another one. And around that time, political participation, from the from the people of the colony, Nigerians have now been participating fully in, well, some are in the political process. They are now electing representatives and all that. So it started making sense that the more you have, especially if your population says you have more than this, then you will deserve more representation. So they reshuffled around 1941. After the census, there was nothing about sharing money then. No, people, they manage their own affair. Everybody manage his own affair then. No, but the political, the political template changed in favor of the North. In fact, you know what? Let's start from here. They said, I'm going to read this word for word. The first census was in 1911 and covered only a small part of the country. The first nationwide census was conducted in 1921. It suffered from inadequate staffing and the public boycotted it because they thought it would lead to higher taxes. In southern Nigeria, the preliminary figures were adjusted upwards before the results of 8.4 million was published. The published figure for northern Nigeria was 10.4 million, southern Nigeria 8.4 million. Now, remember, people didn't participate because they felt it was going to lead to higher taxes, right? In 1931, the census was marred by tax riots and a low-cost invasion, which also caught the counting and then affected the exact results. In 1941, the census in 1941 could not be conducted because of the Second World War. That didn't hold. But eventually, a census took place over in 1952 and 1953. This was before the independence, where people now know the advantage of this census. And northern Nigeria, realizing the advantage of that, they quickly shipped it in. Listen. So, a census took place in 1952 and 1953 and returned a total of 30.4 million as the population of Nigeria. This was taken as the benchmark for political representation in the country's parliament in preparation for independence in 1960. The population of northern region was 55.4, for the first time, 55.4% in total. That of eastern Nigeria was 23.7%, the Igbos, and then every other nationality from that region, they came second as the second populated region in Nigeria. Then the western region, including Lagos and Midwest, were 20.9% of the entire 30.4 million population. Now, this gave northern Nigeria 174 seats, eastern Nigeria 73 seats, and western Nigeria, including Lagos and Midwest, 65 seats. That was the beginning of using the population for political purpose and for, in fact, that was the beginning of political interference in population figures in Nigeria. Then it was meant to be for development, I would say. But guess what? Those who plotted this, they had they have other idea. The idea of a Nigeria that will come back to one, because Nigeria didn't go to independence as one Nigeria like that. They went into independence as partners from different regions of Nigeria, forming a new country called Nigeria, okay? But these guys envisaged that in the future, there's a possibility that this population thing will determine who leads, what happened in Nigeria eventually. And for the first time, they took that advantage before their independence. But that didn't last before Wahala started. So the first post-independence census was conducted in May 1962. Okay, that was Nigerians now conducting their own census, which eventually led to the end of the First Republic, and also led to the first coup, and also the second coup, the retaliatory coup, and also to the Nigerian genocidal war, and also every other calamity that befell Nigeria since then. And this is how it all happened. So, 1962, by the Federal Census Office in the Ministry of Economic Development. It was better organized, as they said, but the provisional figure of 45.1 million showed that the southern regions combined had a higher population than northern region. This was controversial. Listen, for the first time, Oyibo no day anymore. There is no colonialist or anything anymore to blame. Now, let's count ourselves. You can't say somebody is trying to increase tax or anything. Let's count ourselves. But guess what? The northern Nigeria, for the first time, they felt like these people served on Jassy. They loaded that population this. Because the southern Nigeria realized that if you have better population, if you are better counted, that will mean that people will be better represented. You have more seats to discuss the problem of your people in the parliament. Something that is logical, isn't it? But the people of northern Nigeria of that era, they had different plan. What do you mean? You guys have everything. We don't have anything. Now, are you saying you still also want to control the power as well? Of course not. They won't let that happen. That was what led to the 1963 cancellation of the census, because southern Nigeria became more than northern Nigeria, which many people still believe today. Now, of course, the southern part of Nigeria is more populated than northern Nigeria, and then the resources of southern Nigeria is being shared to the larger part of northern Nigeria. Most of this money that ended up in the private pocket of this political elite and the rest of them, and their people, development-starved people, education-starved people, they ended up in southern Nigeria trying to make a living and putting a further stress on the limited resources left for them to cater for the people of southern Nigeria, by the northern Nigeria. However, a special census board was set up. Okay, they said, listen, 1962 census was cancelled and the recount was ordered in 1963. Its management was also removed from the Federal Office of Statistics, marking the beginning of direct political interference in the process. A special census board was set up. Census staff members increased and more resources were provided. But at the end of the count, a population figure of 55.7 million was recorded, a difference of 11 million. Now, this is what happened. In 1962, when everybody counted themselves, and southern Nigeria more than northern Nigeria, the total figure was 45.1 million. Okay, and from that figure, so from that figure, 53% of that came from southern Nigeria, meaning they are more than the north. So they cancelled it. 2 years after independence, they cancelled it and they ordered a new one. When they did the recount, there's an extra 11 million added to the 45.1 million counted few months earlier, right? And that gave the northern Nigeria the lead they've always wanted. Not just that, it also increased their political representation in the Project Nigeria. That was what finally led. I haven't finished, though. I'm still going to read some more. That was what finally led to when they say if you want to elect a president, you need to go to the north. If you want to change anything in Nigeria law, you need to. If the north says no, you want restructuring. If the north says no, it's a no. When they were creating states, because the north, since 1962 or 63, they believe the north is more than the south. They created more states for the north. They created more local governments for them. They created more national assembly seats for them, more senatorial seats for them, and many, many of all these things. And when they said, oh, let's use the federal characters in dealing with Nigeria, they took the largest share of that, even when they contributed zilch into that, that cover, okay? The Genesis. Now, they said, this reversal, okay, hang on. This is what happened. This led to a slight redistribution of power in favor of northern and western Nigeria. This is what happened. Eastern Nigeria and Midwest, they lost 5 seats in the parliament because that arrangement of the population figure and all of that gave the Southwest, we, the Yorubas, it gave us some leverage. I'm sorry. I know that we all contributed to what we are dealing with today, but now you know why Nigeria won't work if you continue to follow that same path that these rogues led us into. It never gave us the real citizenship that we deserve, dignity, the humanity that we actually deserve, right? So 1973, it said the 1973 census returned a total population of 79.8 million, with the North making up 64.4%, which was a subject of controversy. So in 1989, the National Population Commission was created by the military decree to organize the 1991 census in preparation for handover to a civilian regime. The military government announced that the 1991 census figures would not be used for the upcoming elections, thereby reducing the political tension and the usual incentive to inflate population figures. So it became, every time, like election, right? Population census became a tool that determines how much you get from the national cover, right? It became the decider. And therefore, everybody decided to start loading it until Obasanjo came in until Obasanjo came in 1999 and conducted a census in 2006, which was also controversial. That was when Lagos, they said Kano is more populated than Lagos. And Fashola was governor, and it was like, the Lagos state government then was like, no, we won't agree to that. And they did their own counting. You know what they did? They declared the population of Lagos as somewhere around 9 million. And they declared Kano 10.4 million. So they counted themselves in Lagos and they said they are actually 22 point something million. And in fact, that number was not accepted by the government of Abuja then, Obasanjo, because it still ended up favoring the North, which has already gained enough ground to sustain what they brought upon you since 1963. Now, Buhari approved 10 billion that Nigerians should be counted. You don't know your population. And that is why, it is hard as we speak to actually know those who are indeed Nigerians. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put it in a very, very blunt way, like we say Nigerian. So the North says, no. We are not agreeing to any census for now. We are only interested in 2023. When they did the electoral or voters registration, right? Even many of you who have access to that online to register in millions, by the time your INEC declared the region with the highest registered voters, including the regions that is ravaged by terrorism, displaced people in IDP camps and the rest of that, they were still the highest. You have almost 75 million declared registered voters in Nigeria, 75 million, right? And then 48 to 50 million of those registered voters, they come from the faceless North. Ask yourself why. Watch this.
The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They groomed them. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. El Rufai brought them in. Bauchi State Governor brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show me. Somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Izombe, you come to Ohaji, you come to Ebema, you come to Aguleri, you come to Ebonyi. You take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to Niger Republic. And you want me to be happy with you? Clap for you. Oh, Nigeria is doing well. One Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax that we pay. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport in Niger. Refinery in Niger. You take oil, crude oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. Or as PPS as you call it. And you're telling me that that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. We are in one Nigeria. We are not going anywhere. And you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money and positions. So that they will come out on the pages of newspapers to give the world the misleading impression that everything is okay, when things are not okay. Go through the statements of Ohaneze and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back and say Nigeria is one. We must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You're suffering. They're killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I'm a Democrat, I've subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Atiku Abubakar wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku Abubakar said to come and help us fight terrorism, in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said it because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not educated. When I say, they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of you are not educated. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we were born, where our umbilical cord, how long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year Festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou, go to Yaoundé in Cameroon. Everybody living in the capital cities of Africa, they go back to their villages. They go back to their tribes where they come from. Do they do that in the Western world? During Christmas, these people migrating from, oh, I come from Florida, I'm going to Florida. No, you don't. Because people come from where they are born. We come from where our ancestors were born. That is the difference between black people in Africa and those from Europe and other parts of the world. We come from, so if you ask somebody, where do you come from? He or she will mention their village. That is what makes us Africans. Very, very unique. If you destroy that, you're finished as a people. In Africa, we are tribal. First and foremost, we belong to our tribe where we come from. That is why our people need to appreciate this. Very, very critical. That Africa is restructured to recognize where people come from. All these artificial creations by Europeans, Nigeria, this and that, all that rubbish. That is why you can never ever make any progress for the next 6 billion years. You can never ever make any progress in the zoo. Why is it, if we are not tribal, why would the whole presidency come out, Fulani presidency come out and say, we are defending Fulani headsmen? A presidency of the whole of Nigeria, so to speak. It is because by instinct, we are tribal beings in Africa. That is why Nigeria is unsustainable. That is why the man from Ishekiri has to vote to say, this is where I want to belong to. That is why referendum is the only way forward. That is why Africa is poor. Africans must recognize that this is who we are. You cannot live in Lagos if you're an Igbo man during Christmas and start traveling to Sokoto. It's impossible. You must go to Igbo land. You must. That's where you come from. And if they ask you, oh, but you were born in Lagos, you will say, no, that's where my parents come from. They ask your parents will say, that's where my parents come from. They will keep going back until they get to perhaps the 100th generation. That is who we are. And nobody can change it. We are not born on the streets. Some people were born along Ijora or Kota Highway in Lagos. Maybe they are from Urobo. You ask them, where are you from? They say, I'm from Urobo. But I was born in, but this is where I come from. That is who we are. That is why all these useless, idiotic countries created in Africa cannot survive. It can never ever survive. And how do we stop it? Only a revolution can stop it. Only a revolution. If you like, keep postponing it. If you like, keep putting it off forever and ever. Only a revolution can solve this very problem, because under a revolution, the powers that be, those that be making your life a misery, will be overthrown. Nobody will say it's a coup anymore. It is called popular uprising. Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let anybody deceive you. And that is why today some soldiers are listening and they are resigning from the army. How can you be a soldier in the Nigerian army and your village is being occupied by Fulani headsmen? Imagine those from Oyo or Ondo serving in the Nigerian army. These are my Yoruba brothers who are serving in the Nigerian army. You are from Yoruba, you are serving in the Nigerian army, doing one Nigeria.